Hi, everybody.
Well, when you get an intro like that, you can't go wrong.
Welcome to TFT Tarot for today, Divine Dabblings with
Oberon.
me, Banshee, and Bly.
And welcome to your
Weird Week.
It's our weekly look at what's going on in the world or nationally, globally, politics, issues of concern. We try to basically see what's going on there and if we can find out a little bit more about it.
Well, speaking of which, let's talk about last week, Mr.
Yes.
O. I'm sure you have a lot to say, because we discussed it all before the show.
Oh, were we supposed to do that? Well, you had a lot of good ideas earlier.
Did I? I had no ideas earlier, frankly.
Okay.
I maybe have thought up some things about the cards last week. They seem to be really more positive than not. Well, kind of, sort of. Let's take a look at this again and see. So the major theme or focus from last week, gosh, I've got hair. There we go. Major theme or focus tone for last week was the Fool reversed, which indicated somebody making a misstep or mistake.
Death by misadventure.
Honestly, I'm having a hard time figuring that out. We had a lot of missteps in this country with people shooting people by accident, you know? I'm thinking, well, not by accident, just by carelessness.
So we could call that foolish behavior.
You know, right. Taking a reckless risk with your gun and shooting people just because they stopped in your driveway, etc. There's a number of them going on. It was really kind of, I don't know if that card related to that, because really, you know, if you take the reading as a whole, I'm just not sure. But let's look at card number 2. What will we find out or see? The mysteries. The Hanged Man upright. I feel like maybe things were put on pause so that people could regain perspective. And I think that was part of, you know, might relate to the abortion drug, let's call it that. If I have to say that name, I'm going to mess it up. But the abortion drug thing was kind of put on hold. There's a stay until it goes through the appeals process, and the Supreme Court finally did rule on that, you know, it would still be available in states where it's legal, I think they said, or where abortion.
Sure. Well, when you look at the idea of the hangman anyways, it sort of suggests that maybe there will be people who will be winners and people who will not be winners, or one side will gain more precedence and the other side won't.
Oh, with the hanged man? Okay.
And so it sort of happens in that case, too, that the way the case has been put on hold means that some people will probably be okay with this. Other people maybe will be at the whim of what their states are deciding.
Card 3, the Seven of Pentacles reversed, was for what other perspectives need to be considered. And I kind of think people are wondering whether they should give up on something, move towards something else, or what?
What was the card again?
The Seven of Pentacles reversed.
Right, I see that there. I guess I just didn't really hear you say that. So I think that idea, though, about the Seven of Pentacles reversed is sort of saying maybe some people are evaluating the moment and saying, is more energy needed or not? Or are there other perspectives in between? Are there feelings that maybe you can go so far or not?
I have some other thoughts on this. We'll get to it in a minute. Card number 4, though, oh my goodness, the overall impact. We have the Five of Swords reversed, which indicates no one wins. So if this is about the abortion drug, for example, it just seems like no side is happy, now with at least as far as it goes with where things stand right now, nobody's very happy.
From the political perspective, some people on the other side of this say the cruelty is the point, and that this is only guaranteed to cause hardships or cruelty on people who can least defend themselves against it.
And finally, what could win the weird week? We ended up with the Nine of Cups upright, which indicates somebody's getting what they want here, but who? So, I think both sides kind of got what they want, because clearly both sides still have a fighting chance to, turn this their way. And so I think maybe that's where it stands right now as far as that goes.
most of these cards, well, some of these cards can represent sort of binary positions or people or situations that are kind of moving to their opposite corners. And so in that sense, you could kind of say that once again, nobody completely wins, but nobody completely loses.
Well, and so I could look at that scenario. There's a couple other things that have been going on in the U.S. that I could relate this to. I'm really not sure about world events right now. We've got all kinds of problems going on in Sudan, which I don't know that these cards related to at all. There's other issues going on, but these cards just don't seem to fit. However, in the U.S., I also thought of another thing. Kevin McCarthy and the House of Representatives, as they're trying to get Republicans to formulate a plan for, the debt ceiling debate that's coming up and what they're going to demand that the Biden administration cut. They're looking to cut back things in government. And, the idea was, could they ever get together to agree on anything in the House? And it looks like Kevin McCarthy has gotten what he wants. It looks like most people, most factions in the Republican House are on his side. And so I think that, they have a fighting chance of standing their ground to the Democrats on this and causing a real protracted battle.
So we shall see if maybe there is an indication in this coming week.
One other thing. Did Donald Trump or Ron DeSantis get what they want this week? I feel that Ron DeSantis' campaign has shown to be in a little bit of hot water from, all the indicators out there. Trump seems to be leading him in the polls now. DeSantis has made some quick knee-jerk decisions, signing the draconian abortion bill in Florida, now making people happy that way. His battle with Disney. There are even people in his own Florida legislature in the GOP party who are actively saying they don't want him. They don't want him to be president. And so I feel like Trump may be getting what he wants this week from some of the stuff going on. So that's what's happening in the U.S. Maybe you can think about what's happening in your neck of the woods and see how these crazy cards from last week may apply.
Yes, and I could see where maybe some of it does apply to some of the heated tensions around the world with Russia, Ukraine, or things like that.
Oh,
even
yeah.
what's going on with other volatile situations. Banshee mentioned the Sudan. There's things going on in Israel right now. It's always something.
It's always something. And yes, we can't rule out things with Russia this week. Russia just accidentally bombed one of their own cities, which caused some problems. And who knows what's going on and why that happened. We'll never really know. There's some economic indicators that are going down. Housing prices are down, which is good for buyers, maybe not good for sellers. And also there's a number of businesses that have filed for bankruptcy again. So all kinds of things going on in the economic world that may pop up in our readings today. So why don't we get started?
Alrighty.
And I guess we're going to get started with my twin tarot. You have to excuse me. The twin tarot is a double major arcana deck. So we are looking at the major focus or theme for this week ahead. One more shuffle. All right. Oh. Well, I guess I'll cut them down here too. Okay. So the card for the week ahead is Transformation. Uh-oh. It is the Death card, and the Death card is reversed. Transformation. Well, I guess I can slide it over, eh? Sorry about that. All right. So transformation reversed. What does that mean? There is none. It looks like this, things are stagnating. Things are not moving forward. Maybe people are holding tight to their positions who don't want change.
Well, it's a week of inertia. It's a week, especially this applies oftentimes literally in the guidebooks as political inertia.
Could be.
So this could be saying really that most of the forces are stalemated in certain ways or guaranteed to maybe not progress on crucial issues.
It just looks really barren, and not productive. I just feel that people are unwilling to budge, from their set positions, which of course, I wouldn't even call it a stalemate. I would call it just a stagnation, period. Yeah.
Hitting a brick wall.
That could be Russia and Ukraine as well. Just nobody is willing to work towards that peace agreement yet. All right, so card 2. What will we find out or see? The mysteries with the Secrets Tarot.
The Secrets Tarot, that's right. Holy moly. And it is the Four of Wands reversed.
Okay, so what we will find out or see the mysteries. Well, I don't know here. Maybe no news is good news, Maybe just that, whatever happens in this week ahead will not impact on a lot of things. Things will just kind of remain where they are, which I'm not really sure when. The appeals court is actually going to get to rule on, for example, the abortion thing, but also, this could be about the war. Maybe, it's not going to be anything major going on between Russia and Ukraine in this week ahead. Although I have heard Ukraine is planning a counteroffensive. I'm just not sure. What do you got?
A lot of times the Four of Wands pertains to things kind of coming to summation in certain situations. There's sort of a analog towards our happy home, the foundation of our home. In a more global or universal context, I think this could be pertaining to situations where there is unease between nations or strife between communities. And so I wonder if this is saying because that card is reversed, that there is not a complete picture going on here, that some things really are a little bit strained, but for the most part, things are kind of holding.
I wonder if this is Sudan. But whatever the case may be, it's something that, maybe the foundation needs a little bit more work. Usually the Four of Wands is not really that negative a card, but it's possible that some work needs to be done to firm things up that is, shaky.
Interesting.
What is the overall? Oh, card 3. What other perspectives need to be considered? And we have the Tarot of Oppositions for that.
That's our shared deck. It incorporates the idea of both the reversed as well as the upright meanings of the cards in the same card, and encourages you to possibly consider that there is a gray or liminal or in-between area there that encompasses both of those ideas, perhaps.
Oh, and this table's not that easy to shuffle on, so I apologize. I'm having all kinds of problems here. Let's see. Again. Oh my. Okay, well, enough of that. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to pick them up here, Mr. O.
For the cut thing?
Yep, I just did.
Oh, you did the cut yourself?
Yes, I'm sorry. I didn't realize I could use all that space over there.
It's okay.
That you have.
I'll try to remember this.
Well, lo and behold, it's the Hermit reversed.
It is.
I'll give you these back.
Thank you.
The Hermit reversed. Oh, well, I don't know. I guess.
Well, we have to consider that some people want to change. Some people don't want change. Some people want to know what's really going on. Some people maybe are wanting the status quo to remain the same. So some of this is really what gets shared or who decides what gets shared. This could be talking about, certain governments deciding what information they share with, their populace.
I wonder if this is about secrets being revealed, things that, hidden knowledge, because of course the Hermit is the seeker of knowledge when upright. When reversed, it's about sharing knowledge to the world, but I wonder if this is knowledge that's been kept under wraps. Maybe what this is saying is we're going to gain some wisdom this week.
The documents.
Yeah, what documents?
That were released. Remember the young air person?
Oh, yeah, okay.
Maybe some analysis will tell us more about what happened there.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Well, we already know pretty much what had gone out, I think, but maybe there'll be something about that. Maybe something else will be revealed in the ongoing investigations of the former president. Maybe some other hidden knowledge will come out. I really feel like, we look at this card here in this position as we emphasize the way it turns up, but we can consider both the upright and reversed interpretation.
Right. Well, wasn't something just come out today, literally, I think, when we were, this morning, indicating that there were more tapes or more informations or more things that were said.
Texts, I think.
Texts that were said that sort of don't look good for
the former president.
Yes.
So I don't know. It's interesting here. Maybe more things will come out about, and you know what? Dang, that's what we forgot to mention about the weird week from last week.
What?
Fox News and the Dominion suit. How they settled. Oh my gosh. I have to stop the presses here and say something about this.
Well, they got what they wanted.
Fox got what, oh my gosh. How could we have forgotten that?
Ooh.
Really, because in a way, I almost feel like the cards from last week were about the Fox Dominion lawsuit when you think about it here. Oh my gosh.
The overall impact, Five of Swords reversed.
Somebody giving up. That was Dominion just saying, all right, we'll settle with you. And the Five of Swords reversed. Dominion thinks they've walked away with integrity, but so does Fox in a way now too, because they can spin this any way they like, And the Nine of Cups to me indicates somebody got exactly what they wanted, and I think it's Fox News. Why didn't I see this? Where were you on this?
The Hangman reverse, not really holding out for that right win. All of these cards, yeah, you're right.
Oh my gosh. We need to put a disclaimer on the show or something. Check later in the show for more about last week. Because we really messed up here. That's really where these cards fit.
Yeah.
I personally feel it's a misstep for Dominion to settle. I really do. They should have went all the way. But these cases cost money. There was armies of lawyers going through there. So my goodness.
In a normal year, Dominion averaged 14 million. They made nearly 800 million. So this was really all about the money for them.
Yeah. And whether they see it all, that's another debate that's going on. But at any rate, that's last week. I just thought of that. So it just popped into my head, seeing the Hermit here. Revelations. And so, who knows what's going to be revealed this week, maybe about that or something else. So card number 4 is, what is the overall impact for this week? Back to this week. And for that, I'm going to use the Healing Light Tarot, and let's see what's going to happen. If I can shuffle. Excuse me again. Ah, this deck is a little more forgiving. Okay. One more. Yeah. All right. Cut them. And let's see what we've got. All right. So, what is the overall impact of all of this? We've got the Hierophant reversed. So what you say you to that, Mr. O?
Well, it's probably going to be something that basically has a breakdown in people believing in government or believing in the missions of government. It may be saying people want to act out and don't want to regard societal norms or structures, and that people are ready to break them or go beyond them.
Well, I think people are thinking of taking unconventional approaches to things now, whether it's more protests. We saw some protests with the abortion drug, but also we were seeing a lot of protests still in places where there have been gun violence, like Kentucky, right?
Yeah.
And so there just may be more of that kind of thing going on in this week ahead. Somebody taking an unusual approach to things. That could be the overall impact. It's going to force people to think differently, to do things differently.
The question, the value or the whatever of government, the legitimacy of government.
Wow. Well, I don't know. We're going to have to think about this one. What do you got?
What will win the weird week? What could win the weird week? And for that, yes, I use the Global Fusion Intuitive Tarot. Emphasis on could.
Emphasis on could, because sometimes nothing wins. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I forgot that. And you didn't catch me on that.
Well, I guess I forgot it too, dear.
Well, that's why we should be a team that supports each other.
We supported each other, not remembering.
In lack of memory. Oh, dear.
Reversed 10 of Cups.
So what could win the weird week?
Tough love.
What? Making people unhappy?
Tough love, my dear.
I think nothing is winning the weird week this week. 10 of Cups. Whatever's happening here is going to leave people feeling very unhappy, very perhaps divided again. So gosh, you got to wonder if it isn't something like the abortion decision or something related to something bigger.
Well, whether it's national or international, something is literally breaking bonds of heart and maybe trust and harmony in the overall meta family, the American family, the planetary family, or wherever this may be going on. It may be saying people are really kind of ripped apart in their views about how they care about each other, or if they even care about each other.
Well, this is a pretty weird reading, but then again, we're in Mercury retrograde, so anything goes here. Why don't we try to recap this now? So the major focus or theme or tone is death reversed, like things are kind of stuck. Stagnation.
Possibly political.
Possibly people digging in their heels against change.
Yes, change resistance at an all-time high, perhaps.
So what will we find out or see? The mysteries. And we have the Four of Wands reversed. We may be seeing how shaky some things that we thought were more stable are right now. I can't help but wonder, is this something maybe to do also? Maybe it's not so much positions, but maybe it's a stagnant economy.
Well, and maybe people want to cling to what they feel makes them feel secure. That's the Four of Wands too. Even if they feel like it's shaking a little bit, people want to hold on to that.
I'm not going to rule out that it could be something economic going on too, because stagnation in the economy could be, is a global concern. So, what about number 3, the other perspectives that need to be considered? Well, we have the Hermit here. I think that, well, and usually when the Hermit is reversed, knowledge is revealed. And so, when it's upright, it's obtaining knowledge. So I don't know here. I'm wondering too, because it's esoteric knowledge, I'm wondering if it isn't secret knowledge, in this case.
Well, it almost
Secrets
feels like it's a whole bag of tricks. Like there are some secret things, but then there are some known things that just sort of are reminded to us. And so maybe there's a thing where there's counter information, and the idea is that people are saying, no, this is right. No, that's right. Well, I have this trump card, da-da-da.
I think what it means is whatever, my thinking is whatever's revealed here will bring to light
secrets.
No. Well, these are being revealed. When this is reversed, it's being revealed. But what I think this is about is maybe people deciding what direction they're going to take this information and run with it.
It's a game changer.
Maybe.
It may change.
Might lead into this card here.
Right. Let's just go for it then.
Which is the overall impact. And it indicates that maybe this is going to shake things up. This is going to rattle some cages here. And people are going to come out with some maybe unorthodox approaches or views based on this knowledge.
It's a scrutiny possibly of government or society, and maybe government or society
or someone
will be found wanting.
I can't help but also bring in the Clarence Thomas revelations.
Ooh.
A lot of talk about investigating him right now as well on the Supreme Court in the U.S. So,
earlier I had said that maybe people are going to question the legitimacy of government or protocols and stuff, and these things could lend to that.
And what could win or lose the weird week? Well, we have the 10 of Cups reversed here. Clearly, this is not making anybody happy. All of this, where it's leading is to more division.
I shudder to think about this division, that this looks like, the idea of some real consternation between people that really shouldn't be fighting like this.
So is this France? Is this Israel? Is this Russia, Ukraine?
Is it the world?
Is this Sudan? Is it the world in general? Holy moly. Apparently we can't all get along. So, we'll just have to see how these cards shake out, and hopefully we'll be better prepared next time to recap this so I don't recall it in the middle of the show. So, thanks everybody.
Better late than never.
Better late than never. Absolutely, Mr. O. So, hey,
thanks. This was your weird week.
This was your weird week. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.